by the name of Cronus. He was a titan of a giant. He was a smelly, foul giant. He scaled about 10 foot tall and weighed about 1,000 pounds. And with that being said, it was unbelievable to even imagine that he had a beautiful wife, and her name was Rhea. His wife's name was Rhea, and with that, they had many, many babies, but Rhea was very, very saddened. For every time Rhea and Cronus, the god of the Titans, had a baby, Cronus would swallow it whole. He would swallow the baby whole out of fear that one of the babies would overtake him and overtake his kingdom. And with that, Rhea was very, very sad. She was a saddened mother. She said, the next opportunity I have, I'm going to fool Cronus. I'm going to fool him, and I'm going to go and take my baby to the island of Crete, where he could have a chance to live. For the gods had gave her a dream. And in this dream, that's what she planned she would do. So the next time Rhea and Cronus were going to have a baby, she got a baby the size of a rock, and she put linen cloth around it. She presented it before Cronus. And just like all the other babies, Cronus got the rock and swallowed it whole. He swallowed it whole out of fear that his own kids were going to dethrone him. And with that, Cronus had a good meal that night and went ahead and lay down and went to sleep. While Rhea got in the boat with her new baby, her newborn, and she was able to escape the wrath of Cronus, and she rowed all the way to the island of Crete. When she got to the island of Crete, there she had a cave prepared for baby Zeus. A mythical goat would be taking care of baby Zeus. For there he would nourish baby Zeus and prepare him for the many years that he had ahead of him. It is even said that this mythical goat quieted down the tears and the cries of baby Zeus. For if Cronus, the god Titan, heard these cries, he would for sure go to the island and just destroy it and begin to stomp on it. Well, with that being said, the mythical goat took care of baby Zeus. Baby Zeus becomes stronger and stronger. He'd run across the island. He swam in the beach. He scaled the rocks. And with that, he became good. He became strong, and he became a god. He fought the animals in the jungle, and he rode the dolphins. He just had a great of a time until the right time came where the mythical goat said, I shall tell you what happened. And in the past, when your mother had babies with Cronus swallowed them whole. And with that, it made Zeus very, very sad. Zeus said, I shall seek revenge. For what kind of a giant, smelly of a giant Cronus does he think he is? That he's going to eat my brothers and sisters. And with that being said, Zeus went to one part of the island, on Crete Island, and he got an herb of toxins. And with that herb of toxins, he mixed up a concoction. There he was all night mixing it up, saying, I shall seek revenge. I shall seek revenge and take this toxin to the giant god of a Titan, Cronus, my father. For I shall seek revenge. And with that, he poured the toxin into a little vial, and he put a top on it, and he put it into the boat, and he began to row all the way back across the ocean. And as what we know as current day Greece, from Crete to Greece, he rowed all the way until he got on shore, pulled his boat on shore, and began to scale the mountain. For he knew behind the mountain of Mount Olympus, there he would find Cronus. For he was ready to slay Cronus and receive revenge. The next day, upon entering the village, baby Zeus approached Cronus and said, I am from Crete. For Cronus did not know this was his son. For his wife Rhea hid it from him. He just thought this was some normal man. Well, needless to say, he approached Cronus and he says, I am a man from Crete, and I brought for you here this perfect concoction. Please drink it, and it will make you strong. And Cronus, being the brute fool that he was, said, give me that here, fool, for I shall drink it. And he began to gulp it down. And within an instant, Cronus began turning blue and green. And he fell with that and took his last breath. When baby Zeus cut him in the stomach. And out popped his other brothers, the other brothers that he ate, Poseidon, Demetra, Hera, his sister, and his other brother Hades. And with that, the other gods, they come too, and they all united. And with that, Cronus, the giant of the Titans, was laying there ill on the floor. And the other Titans come and got him and took him back to their garrison. And the other Olympians, brothers and sisters, Zeus was now reunited with them, and they went back to Mount Olympus. And there they said, we must prepare for war because we know that our father will come and try to take us out. For he knows that we want to send him to Tartarus. And Tartarus was in the middle. Tartarus was in the middle of the earth, and that's where they kept all the people that defiled the Titans. That's where they kept them enslaved, in chains and in bondage. And with that, the Titans became to fight the Olympians, and they fought for many, many days, and many, many days turned into many, many months. And when the Titans came, you could just hear them like an earthquake. Every time they stepped and roared into the crowd. There was blood slashing, there was head knocking, and it all just fought for many, many years until Zeus was fed up. He said, I can't take it no more. For when are we always going to beat these Titans? I shall go down to Tartarus, for Cronus had also locked up his step brothers and his uncles, the Cyclops and the 100-handed men. I feel that if I go down to Tartarus and release them, they shall help me fight the Titans. So Zeus told Hades to hold off the front on the west, and he told Poseidon to hold off the front on the waters. And Zeus went down to Tartarus, and there he talked to the Cyclops and the 100-handed men. He says, if I release you guys, will you guys come help me defeat the Titans? And they said, of course we will. So Zeus released the Cyclops, big giants with one eye, and he released the 100-handed men. And he said, let's go back to Mount Olympus, for there we shall forge swords. And they began being, were good blacksmiths, and they began beating and forging steel into swords. And they made this invisible helmet for Poseidon. And they made this pitchfork for Hades. And they made lightning bolts for Zeus. And with these mythical, magical weapons, they were for sure to win over the Titans. The next clash they had, baby Zeus confronted them, and he began to throw lightning bolts at the Titans, and they began to fall one by one. And his brother Poseidon and Hades locked them up, chained them up, and took them down to Tartarus. And that is the story of how the Olympians beat the Titans. And the Olympians went back and lived humbly at Mount Olympus with Cyclops and the 100-handed men, for they had defeated the Titans. Thank you very much. Thank you, Abby.
Okay, it's still going.
Okay, thank you very much.